Hi there, this is Chris, the chap in the cap from Motolegends, here today to talk to you about a leather jacket for ladies from our French friends at Helstons, and it's called the Star jacket. So this is the Star jacket from French brand Helstons, and before we get too far into it, there are a couple of points that I would make. First is that this jacket is too big. Sarah reckons it's 2 sizes too large. Whether it's 2 sizes or 1 size too large, we don't know, but it's definitely not her size. So this jacket is not looking at its best, and I apologise for that, but a shipment has come into the UK recently and it didn't have the appropriate size. Out of interest, Sarah's a size 10 and this is a large, so a 10 would be what, a 10 would be a medium. The other thing that I would have to say is this is a proper motorcycle jacket. If you are looking for a leather jacket to go out very occasionally on the bike, but really you're more interested in looking like a biker, if you want something that's super comfy for going down the pub and wandering around town, this is not the leather jacket for you. This is a really serious piece of motorcycle kit. It's as protective as anything you're going to find. It does the job. I'm going to talk about thermal, I'm going to talk about waterproofing. It's an amazing jacket, but it is solidly constructed. This is not the most comfortable leather jacket you're ever going to wear. So if you want to look at a jacket like this, you have to understand that this jacket is going to take a little bit of wearing in. It's going to be heavier than some jackets out there. The reward, I think, is there. Over time it'll become nicer and nicer, and if you did end up having some kind of mishap on the bike, this is a jacket that's certainly going to keep you protective. In terms of the style of the jacket, I've got to say that I'm not sure that Helstons always crack it in terms of ladies styling. Their men's gear is fantastic. I think they're getting better at their ladies wear. There is some shaping here on the waist. We've got adjusters lower down here, but really what we kind of want on a ladies jacket, we want it a little bit higher. We don't want it waist, and we don't want it down here. We want it on the real waist rather than the hips. The other thing that I look at this jacket and I think that's just not quite right is the neck size. Now, Sarah's of a certain size, but this is, even though this jacket is 1 size too big, the lady doesn't exist, or I haven't met her yet, who can fill that neck out, who is this size of jacket. The neck aperture, I think, is just too large. So that's something you're going to have to try this jacket on and see, but I still think that at times Helstons don't always crack it when they are on ladies' jackets. So let me go through anyway some of the detailing, because there's lots of detail in this jacket. It is, as I've mentioned, a proper serious motorcycle jacket, and as I talk through it, I think that will become clear. So main zip, YKK. We like YKK zips. It says that a manufacturer is taking it seriously. Cheaper manufacturers save a couple of dollars on having cheaper zips, because all they want to do is get you past a year's warranty, and then it's not their problem. When a manufacturer puts in a proper YKK zip, because they last forever, you know they're serious about quality and that longevity. We have main zip here. We have 2 zips here, 2 zip pockets. We have some zips around the back. Obviously, they're all YKK. Right. Inside, we have 2 pockets on the inside, 2 wallet pockets here, and we have a thermal gilet. Pretty much every Helstons jacket comes with a gilet or a long sleeve top. This one is infused with aluminium. We like aluminium. You'll remember seeing pictures of people after the marathon, they're given an aluminium blanket. That's to keep the heat into the body. Now, no lining in a motorcycle jacket generates heat on its own unless it's an electrically powered one. What you're trying to do, whatever the liner is, hollow form fibers, whatever it is, it's designed to keep the body's heat in. And that's what this does. Aluminium is a premium way of doing that. It works really well. So if you can do this up, thank you. But that does bring with it a slight issue, and it's an issue in terms of sizing when you try on this jacket. Because we know Helstons well, we've been bringing it into the country for a number of years, we know how their leather stretches. If you try this jacket on with the liner on, and it's comfortable, what we can be sure of is that in a year or so's time, as it's stretched, it will become too baggy, especially if on a summer's day you decide to take the liner out. then it would just be too big. So our trick for fitting this jacket, if you're going to try this on, if you're going to visit a shop or even if you receive on mail order, is to get it a nice and snug fit. It needs to be a nice and snug fit without the liner in. What we then can tell you is that in 6 months' time it will have given, such that you can then put the liner in it, but it won't have grown so much that on a summer's day, when you take the liner out, it's baggy and unattractive. So that's just something you should bear in mind. It happens to an extent with lots of leather jackets, but we know this leather, it is very soft, it's been treated with oils and waxes by Helstons, it's super supple, it's going to give, it's a lovely, comfortable jacket, but nobody wants a jacket that is too big. In terms of adjusters and fit, we have some buckle adjusters here on the hips. Again, that's not where I think ladies want adjusters. What we really need is adjusters here because ladies have an hourglass shape, well, some of them do, and you want to be able to tighten that to accentuate that to the greatest extent. We're not really, there aren't many women who are going to want to tighten the hips and so on. So I think that's a bit of an error. I think if you have an adjuster on a lady's jacket, it should be somewhat higher. At the back, we've got these two zips. What's nice about these is when you sit on the bike, then everything spreads a little bit. I've got to be careful about what I say, but it's nice when you have these zips and gussets that just mean as you sit on the bike, the jacket can splay a wee bit. It makes it more comfortable on the bike. Okay, thanks, Sarah. So the other thing this jacket comes with is a waterproof membrane. That is a feature of many Helstons leather jackets, and it's not, ironically, anything to do with waterproofing. Now, the fact is that in France, because the climate is warmer than it is here in the UK, they ride with leather much deeper into the year than we do. In the UK, we tend to look at leather jackets being something you wear from April until September, maybe in a nice year, October. We then transfer to textiles because we have miserable weather, it's cold and rains a lot and so on. But especially if you're in the southern part of the country, in France, you can be wearing leather right through until October, November. You might not in extremis get away with December, January, but the French love their leather jackets and they will wear them until they can no longer wear them. That's where the benefit of the waterproof membrane comes in. Not about the rain, it's about the windproofing qualities of a membrane. So the waterproof membrane is in there to make the jacket more windproof, to stop the cold air cooling you down. That's why it's there. Now, that's very useful, and it means that also over here, you can wear this jacket in September, October, whereas you might not some other leather jackets. The downside is going to be in the summer when it's really hot. This jacket is not going to breathe as well as some because the waterproof membrane, the windproof waterproof membrane, is going to make it harder for your sweat to escape from the body and escape through the jacket. So this is going to be, especially when you take into account the thermal liner and the windproof liner, this is going to be as warm a leather jacket as it's pretty much possible to find. So that's about it. It's called the Star. It's £309. Out of interest, Heritage, does it come in other colours?
It's coming in camel.
So it comes in a camel as well as this black. It's kind of jacket that I think you've got to try on, but don't look at it unless you're looking for a proper, serious motorcycle jacket. This is that jacket. So I hope you enjoyed the review. If you want to see more Helstons gear, then visit the website motolegends.com. If you want to learn more about this particular jacket, then if you click on one of the links on the page, sometimes they're up there, sometimes they're down there, that will take you directly to the relevant page on our website. There you can check out the spec in a little bit more detail. You can check out availability, and obviously if you want to buy one of these jackets, you can do that there and then. Now, when you buy from us, we try to make the process as simple, straightforward and risk-free as we possibly can. There's no delivery charge on anything you buy from us. Returns are free, and what's more, we give you a full 12 months in which to decide whether you do want to return something to us. Our price promise is the best in the business. Now, John Lewis is rightly famed for their never knowingly undersold promise. We go one stage better. If you can find anything that we sell being sold by one of our competitors at a price that is lower than ours, we will beat their price by a full 10%. Now, that's for retailers in the UK. If the retailer is in the EU, we will match their landed price. There are a few terms and conditions, nothing particularly onerous, but if you are going to price beat us, then I suggest you visit the website and check out what those terms and conditions are. Now, if in the future you'd like to receive email bulletins from us about new products, then if you go to the website, at the top of every page, there's a piece of script that says newsletter sign up. Click on there, within seconds you'll be in business, you'll receive bulletins from us in future. If, however, you would prefer to get your information videographically, in other words, in this form, we would be simply delighted if you wanted to become a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking on the button below. Now, this is 2020, and before the end of the year, we're going to be giving away a motorbike to a YouTube subscriber. We're calling the bike a Steve McQueen tribute bike. It's actually based on a 125cc Mutt machine. It's a lovely little cutie. You can read more about it on the front page of our website or on the home page of our YouTube channel. But you have to subscribe to our channel. We're going to be announcing the winner just before Christmas this year. Finally, I'd like to make a play for our fabulous little shop here in Guildford. We're about a mile from the centre of Guildford, a mile from the railway station. As I've suggested, the shop itself is not huge, but it's attached to our warehouse where we have more than £2 million worth of gear arranged over 3 floors. Technically, it makes us the second largest motorcycle apparel shop in the UK. But we think that we are far more than just the quantity of merchandise we have here in the building. We're all about service, we're all about personal fitting. If you want to check us out, visit Trustpilot. We have the highest 5-star rating in the business. When you come and see us, we'll sit down, we'll have a chat with you. We'll serve you only the finest Italian illy coffee, or we'll serve you proper Yorkshire tea in a proper teapot. And if you're lucky, you might even get to taste one of Sean's mum's delicious motorcycle-shaped shortbread biscuits. Anyway, this has been Chris. I hope to talk to you again soon.